Good morning, children. Welcome back to our session. Children, yesterday we learned about the national movements, national liberation movements in the colonies. And we have finished up how the China achieved its liberation, we have seen. And after achieving the liberation, on the path of development, how rapidly they have progressed, we have seen in the previous class. Today, let us learn about an African country called as Nigeria. We now turn towards colonialism and nationalism in Africa and study Nigeria on the west coast, which is located on the west coast of the Africa. So, the British colonialism and the making of a nation by the Nigeria, let us have an idea. The idea of nation states was new to the countries of Africa. There was nothing like a concept of nation states in Africa till then. So, like the rest of the world, the people in Africa were united together through their tribal identity only. If they belong to the same tribal group, they were united only with the tribal identity. The Western colonizers randomly brought together certain areas under their control. The country we know as Nigeria today was actually created by the Britishers by bringing together different regions which were around the river Niger river system, where people of different tribal groups lived. Predominantly Muslims were present in the northern Nigeria, which is dominated by Hausa Fulani. This northern part is Hausa Fulani, and in the southern, to the east side you find the Igbo tribe, and to the west side you find the Yoruba tribe. To the south-eastern part of Nigeria are dominated by Yoruba, whereas the south-western part, or south-eastern part is dominated by Igbo we call them. These all are the tribal groups which are present in Africa. So, while the people in southern areas are mostly Christians due to the long years of missionary work, the Christian missionaries worked here. So, as a result of that, Christianity spread in the southern region, but whereas northern region is completely dominated by the Muslims. Today, also the legacy of colonialism in the continent of continues in Nigeria because of the European control over its natural resources. So, Nigeria is known for oil, so especially petroleum. So, because the petroleum is under the control of their colonial masters, still it continues. The legacy of their domination on this Nigeria continues. The region of river Niger is one of the most densely populated countries of Africa, because most of the civilizations have taken birth on the bank of the river. So, river Niger is present here. So, it is one of the most densely populated areas in the entire Africa. Even Nile in Egypt is also one of the most densely populated areas in the world, especially in Africa, because much of the Africa is covered with the desert. This region has suffered from different kinds of colonial rule. Even the 16th century onwards, it was a major source of slaves for Africans, major source of slaves for Americans, and tribal peasants were captured in the interior of the forest and they were sold to the European slave traders. So, slave trade was abolished in 19th century, and a new interest developed for colonial powers in the name of trade of the agricultural produce of this area, especially palm oil and cocoa, which we use in the making of the chocolates, cocoa. So, this and palm oil, they started trading. The British had established their rule over the coastal areas by 1861 AD itself, and they developed Lagos as their center of administration, trade and education in Western Africa. The struggle against colonialism also started in Lagos, and Pan-Africanism, a concept of Pan-Africanism also got started, and Nigerian nationalism emerged here. So, racism became very common in British colonial empire until the 19th century. You have seen even in South Africa also, there was a racism. Racism is, what do you mean by racism? Color. You are white, I am black. So, this kind of differentiation or partiality shown in the name of color is called as racism. So, most of the educated Africans were excluded from the civil service, and there was discrimination against the African entrepreneurs even. At the same time, the authorities from ruling country gave control to the tribal chiefs and elite group and promoted them even to the higher places. So, Nigeria has set an example for the colonial masters to establish their own rule in the form of the tribal chief. South Nigeria has got access to the education. they have become modern. Administration also became modernized. But pre-modern traditions continued in the northern region, Hausa Fulani region. So because of this, many differences came up between the two regions, north region and south region. The north was not able to develop a modern educated social class. It was in 1939. The British also separated the Yoruba region and Igbo regions into western and eastern Nigeria and encouraged competition and conflicts between the three major tribal groups. So there was a constant fight, and this is also a policy like they followed in India, divide and rule policy. So they have waged the same kind of, they have planned the same kind of strategy even in the Nigeria also. They divided it into eastern Nigeria, western Nigeria and northern Nigeria, and these three tribal groups used to fight constantly. A section of western educated intellectuals responded to this policy. They developed an idea of a common Nigerian nation, which we call it as a Pan-Africanism, was developed by this educated class, and it was Herbert Macaulay who founded a political party called as NNDP, Nigerian National Democratic Party. It was formed by Herbert Macaulay. So the first Nigerian political party got formed in 1923. The NNDP won all the seats in the elections conducted in 1923, 1928, 1933. In 1930s, Macaulay also got supported by military attacks on the British colonial government, and it was in 1936 the Nigerian Youth Movement, NYM, Nigerian Youth Movement. This is NNDP, Herbert Macaulay's party. Another one is NYM, Nigerian Youth Movement, which is formed by Nnamdi Azikiwe. The leader of NYM is Nnamdi Azikiwe. NYM appealed to all the Nigerians regardless of cultural differences or background. It quickly grew into a powerful political party, powerful political movement. In 1944, Macaulay, NNDP and Azikiwe, NYM have agreed to form the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. That is nothing but Nigerian National Conference on Nigeria and Cameroon. It was a common platform which was by the uniting NNDP and NYM leader, that is Herbert Macaulay and Azikiwe. So he also supported the Pan-Africanism and Pan-Nigerian based nationalist movement. Further about Nigeria, about its resources, we shall see in the next class.